Guys, we got something brand new and exciting. Ain't never seen it before, I don't think it's ever been done. Not that I've ever seen. Anybody that's ever watched me port saws might assume this some buck's on life support with all these wires hanging out of it. It ain't. It ain't. We've added a new feature to our dyno. I think the dyno's running perfect. We've went and added heat to it. If I earned it, give it a thumbs up. If I didn't, don't. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe. Well, sunshines, today I really need your help. We got this old chainsaw on life support. We're going to try some new stuff here on the testing bench, we'll call it. Of course, it's a dyno. Everybody knows that. It's been following along. Anybody that's never really seen it, it drives here, drives into a hydraulic pump. A hydraulic pump's mounted on that torque arm. We got all the ratios done. Everybody that knows I also fixed my spreadsheet last time. I think we're pretty close. But what we wanted to do is, of course, we wanted to start doing muffler mods and other things. Not only do we want to know horsepower, we want to know heat. When we get to the single ring, we want to be able to measure, see, number one, if we gained any horsepower, number two, if we lost any heat. So that's what we got set up in here today. This is probably the first time you've seen this dyno from this angle, just because I got the saw mounted, and I want to talk to you guys a minute. I don't know how to video this. Well, usually you guys are watching the saw right here, and the numbers I put up in the corner, I don't even know if you can see where I'm at. Yeah, I got a cell phone up here, and I'm recording these numbers here. This is my readout. Those of what I always had before. I just put these two on here today. So we're going to try to do some trial runs and try to do a couple different muffler mods. Move you back here just a little bit so we can talk. I'm going to do a couple different muffler mods today. Number one, so we can check the horsepower, and number two, so I can start checking the heat. What I've got is I took a decompression plug for a decomp, and I drilled that for 6mm 6x1 thread. And that thermocouple, I could take it out, but suffice it to say that thermocouple sitting right down in that. That's what this cord is. Now this other one, that's just a dead-ended. Little doodad there. So basically, I've just got it resting against that aluminum right on that fin, and I run it up through like where you take the head bolts out with. And I just put that little plastic rubber cone in there just enough so it holds that up against that. Guys, if you think of something better, and that's where I'm at needing your help, if you guys can think of something better than what I'm doing, I'm all for it. One problem I suspect to have is this decomp plug is going to hold heat. It's not going to go up and down as fast as what maybe this aluminum will. But I want this all under this hood so I can put this hood on it. I want to get this on there, and that's what I want to show you right now before I get that on there. I want to be able to put this on because this has a lot to do with cooling, and if I don't have this on there, I don't think we're getting an accurate reading. We're going to have some cords hanging out from under it, but I think I can get it down on there flat, pretty flat. I may have to run it out against a chain brake, but I don't want to hit the muffler. Guys, get in the comments. You guys that comment a lot, you guys know this is, I hate to use the word because I hate it, but this is a safe space. I mean, if you post something wrong, I have never seen anybody jump on anybody else in here because something's wrong. Now, you may differ in opinion, and and you may still differ when you leave, but I've never heard anybody say, well, that's just the dumbest thing I ever heard. We don't act like that here. We got the greatest people here, so if you haven't commented yet, you're reading the comments, man, there's some good exchange information. I learn a lot. You guys can learn a lot. Comments is awesome down there. Jump in. Just say, hey, just get your feet wet. I used to run ham radio, and I run the awful ugly net. I was qualified. But, you know, I got a lot of people to comment or jump in on the ham because they were scared, you know. You never had before, and you're afraid what people will say or make fun of you. Not with me and not here. There ain't nobody here mean-spirited. I guess that's the easy way to say it. Nobody here is mean-spirited. So jump in there. If you're not mean-spirited, jump in there because you'll be treated how you want to be treated. If you are mean-spirited, just try to tone it down a little bit because we still want your information. Just, boy, try not to be mean-spirited. Let's get this going. We'll test the first muffler mod that we've been using just for heat. because it's on there, and then we're going to switch out a couple muffler mods. I'm going to show you along the way. Probably just show you the muffler, put it on, do the dyno. Show you another muffler, put it on, do the dyno. Man, sit back, buckle up, join in, have fun. I'm just so daggum happy I could crap in my hands and rub up my hair, because, man, I'm having a good time. The dyno run and the temperature run are going to be separate runs, I think. May not have to be, but I think they're going to be. So, guys, chime in, tell me what you think. We'll get started, and I'm going to let this warm up just a minute. Alright, here's the status, Gladys. I went to editing that video, and if I show you every dyno run and every temperature pull, it's going to be about as exciting as having an ingrown toenail and having an ice pick in your ear all at the same time. Ain't no good. They're just noise after noise after noise. If I'm going to show you one run right quick, I'm not going to show you all 5 of them. It's going to get boring as crap. And they're all about alike. So if you want to see them, let me know. In the future, I'll do it. This time, just one. Okay, guys, show you my muffler. What do you think of a chair? Ain't that dandy? That's an old horse-drawn implement. We'll put her on a disc blade. Man, that's nice. Throw you right off in the dirt if you get drunk. Hey, what we got, that first dyno run was the stock muffler can, okay, and the stock outlet, and that would have had, that was the one with the 4 holes in it, okay. Stock, I'm holding up the wrong can, sorry. That was the stock can. I've got a couple aftermarket ones laying here. This one was stock, and that's the stock cover. There was never any guts, if you will, in this one, okay? So that was the first run. The next run we're going to do is completely stock aftermarket muffler. It's going to have the baffles in there and the outlets on the side instead of in the front, okay? And we know that's going to, but we want to get a stock run, right? So we're going to do that and get the heat off of it. Then we're going to pull the gut out of this. It don't take too long to do it. And if you want, I'll show you how to do it. It's real simple, but I don't even cut it out. I'll tell you right now, there's spot welds in there, and if you grab that with a pair of vice grips and just wiggle out a little bit, you'll break each one of them loose. You can see kind of in an order of which one you got to do. I broke them all out of this in here without ever cutting it. So what we'll do is we'll do that in stock with a stock outlet. We'll get rid of that and probably do it again with a stock outlet. Then we'll start opening that outlet up on one can or the other. And eventually I'm going to put pipes in there. I probably won't get to it all today, guys. This is going to be well, there's a lot to do here, a lot to do, and we're trying to do this, and I'm trying to get the heat figured out. So bear with me, guys. Plus, this will give you time to chime in. I've got 3 or 4 outlets here I can mess with. I want to show you something else I've already done on another can. Some people have speculated there's too much volume in here. I ain't much of a TIG welder. I have a TIG welder. Don't mean I am a TIG welder. I welded an angled plate in the bottom of that can. 2 reasons. Number 1, I wanted to take up a little bit of that volume, and number 2, any rebound I get off that can, I wanted it directed right into the throat of there. That was my logic. My logic ain't much either. But anyhow, so we'll try that can. Probably get to it today, I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm going to get 2 or 3 mufflers, though. I'm not going to put 20 of them on a sheet because we won't be able to tell them apart, but I want to see some different stuff. So, guys, this is mostly about the heat and a little bit about the mufflers. We're starting into the mufflers, but we're starting on baby steps here. Guys, if you like it, if you like what I'm doing, if you like this kind of analytical stuff, and guys, don't get me wrong, I know this is not tried and true or tested, or this is not what do you call that? This is not undeniable evidence. This is not proof. This is not anything. This is my findings. Okay, just mine, and only mine. Because let's face it, I tend to run my saws a little fat. Just how I've always been. I don't mind it. It slows me down a little bit. I don't care. As long as they clean up in the cut, they don't even have to clean up in a small cut. I don't care. As long as they'll idle. But if I lean that out more and get more horsepower, and sometimes I do lean it out, I run it a little leaner on dyno because I want to give it a good test. But what I was going to say on these cans, I can't set the RPMs because one can, this here may not even let me have the RPMs. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just going to have to tune this thing by ear every time. And leaner and fatter is going to change that temperature. And I got no quantifiable way of measuring that, guys. So, I mean, there are some factors that I can't do nothing about, or I don't know how to do anything about it. If you guys think of a way, like I say, I don't think just attack's a way to do it. I could try it that way. I don't think it is. But we're going to try some more cans, and I'll try to keep you up to date along the way. I probably won't be able to stop the camera each time, but we're going to transition from having a baffle in there, no outlet, to pulling the baffle out, no outlet, or essentially no outlet. And then we'll open one of these up, and I got a step bit, and we may just open that up 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, and then we'll go to this other can. Probably won't get to the bark box today because that's going to be a handful, guys. But stick around. We're going to have some results here in a minute, and I'm going to quit with the talking because we just want to get into dynoing now, and that's what I want to be. That's where I want to be, is dynoing. Man, it makes my jaws hurt from smiling so daggum much. Man, I'm happy. 4th step, and I'm just doing this as I go, guys. The outlets here are just louvered. They're just stamped in there. So I pinched those shut. I'm just hiding that so you can see it a little better. Hopefully it ain't blinding the camera. I just pinched those shut, and I drilled a hole, and I've cleaned it up and deburred it. I don't want to get a piece in there and score the cylinder. I don't want to start this rig over again. We're up to about 420 thousandths, 10.7 millimeter, give or take, right here. Okay, we're up to a 1/2 inch hole, 12.7 millimeter, give or take, which is not much over the last one, but it's going to be a common size most people have for a drill bit. So get right into the dyno results and the heat runs. Okay, everybody. Well, we got the dyno results and we got some heat results. So let's go over them. And they're a little goofier than what I expected. I think there might be this might show some stuff that I didn't expect. Anyhow, so we'll start off. Try not to make this too long. Go through it quick here. The blue line, dark blue line here is the original muffler mod that we've been running on this MS2 or this Stihl 026 all along. The next line is the next one down. That was 4.3 horse at 9374 RPMs. The next one was the stock muffler, not gutted. It had the baffle in it, just stock aftermarket muffler for an MS260. Same. That's what you get if you buy an aftermarket. It actually, and then the next thing we did, of course, is took the baffle out, gutted it. The horsepower actually went down on that, and I don't believe that's a problem with the dyno or different results. It actually went down. We got some more RPMs out of it, but the horsepower actually went down, which really surprised me. But it is what it is. Then the next thing we did, we drilled about a 0.4 inch hole and we jumped the horsepower back up to 4.16 at 9881, which wasn't that big of a jump over just the gutted can with the stock outlet, just those two little poked in louvered deals. It lowered it down, but it lowered down the RPMs, but we gained quite a bit of horsepower, and you can see it's just way up here. It didn't lose anywhere. It's just the peak RPM dropped, but that green line was just above it all the way. So I mean, it gained a bunch over just the louvers, and the gutted one. Then the last thing we did was put a 1/2 inch hole in there, which is just 0.5 inches for you guys that know. So this was like 10.1 millimeter. This is 12.7 or so, give or take millimeter. They were just super similar. 4.16 horsepower, 4.14 horsepower, but the 1/2 inch hole did move the RPMs up about 300 RPM, so we're headed in the right direction. I'm thinking maybe the right size hole will be somewhere in between this big one I had on the stock saw, or the original Muffler Mod, and this hole, just for a hole size, because we've gained 800 RPMs. We lost a little bit of horsepower, but we gained 800 RPMs at 15 or 0.15 less horsepower. So this saw here is peaking out here. The original mod was where the one was just a hole in the sides peeking out right here. And we're just starting on the Muffler Mods. I'm going to roll this down. I'm just going to show you the horsepower only. What I've did is up here my graphs from 1.25 to catch the foot-pounds all the way up to 4 1/4. I shrunk it down. Basically, this next scale is just going to be there to there, and you'll just see the horsepower. And you can still see the colors change, but you can still see the 0.4 inch hole and the 0.5 inch hole are still just substantially similar all the way down through here. And the stock can with the baffle in it is still outperforming the one without the baffle, which just, well, it baffles me. Pardon the pun, but yeah, it just baffles the heck out of me. I don't know. And we're going to see that. Now let's jump over here and see what we did on the heat. And guys, what I did is I started this saw out at 250 degrees. 0 second, well, showing 1 second through 30 seconds. And I'm going to zoom this in a little bit, but what I wanted to show you, at 30 seconds I stopped the pull on it, and I started letting it cool down, but the temperature still climbed even after I let off the cut in each one of these cases. Okay, which makes me wonder, did I not pull it long enough? 30-second pull seems like a long pull. You guys let me know how you think I ought to run this. I think the data collection is going to be okay, but I'm not sure we don't need to run it longer. I was sort of thinking maybe 30 seconds is normally what you'd maybe cut through on a piece of wood, but then again, you're probably only giving it a couple second break, and you're going right back in there and giving it another 30 seconds. I don't want to just burn the saw up, but maybe I need to pull it longer or do something different. Let me know what you guys think on that. Chime in. But that's why the scale's bumped out here to 35 seconds. This is 0 through 35 seconds. And the 30 second is the only thing that's accurate. This temperature might have spiked out at 45 or 50 seconds. I just didn't want it dragging the graph that far, so I made that 30. I lied and told it that point was 35 seconds because it's all manual entry. The scale's running from 250 degrees to 350 degrees here on this other side. So I'm going to run you down here just a little bit. I've got rid of the 35 second one, that spike, but I'll tell you, the original Muffler Mod that we've been running all along, So this is just the last 10 seconds of the run where it's starting to climb pretty good anyway. The original muffler mod made it up to 297 degrees. And then where I showed you a minute ago where it topped out at 321. Okay. The stock aftermarket cylinder, or the stock aftermarket muffler was the next hottest. It was 308 degrees. So there you go. We're about 12 degrees hotter than we was on the aftermarket. But like I say, we was a little bit more horsepower on this one than we was the gutted can. The gutted can with the stock lid is the next one up, and it made it up to 312 degrees, but it topped out. The gutted can was hotter. The gutted can put out more heat and less horsepower than the one with the baffle in it. Let me say that again. The gutted can put out more heat and less horsepower than the one with the baffle in it. And the stock one with the baffle, over here it topped out at 325 degrees. It was 308 here and 325 when it peaked out. The other one was 312, not much higher here, but it peaked out at 342 degrees. So it peaked out 17, 18 degrees higher just before it started cooling down. So, and then we got up here, the brown line and the green line, they weren't too far apart. One topped out at 312 and the other one at 314 degrees. And the 0.4 inch hole, it topped out at 312 and it only climbed to 324. Actually, the half-inch hole, the hole that's a little bit bigger, run a little bit hotter. It was 314 degrees, and then it climbed 6 more degrees farther than the other one did. It went to 330. So the climbs here, you can see the stock aftermarket, it climbed high. The gutted one really shot up after, so that's making me think I'm not running it long enough, and maybe my thermocouple ain't getting hot, because I wouldn't like to think that the saw continues to get hot. I'm just continuing to, it's taking a minute to get the heat transfer to the thermocouple through that plug I'm using. So guys, there's what we got. You guys can study this, look at it, see what you think. The numbers the heat measurements aren't too far apart on here. But the muffler mods weren't very far apart. We've been dealing with stock muffler this whole time, just basically different size holes in the lid, and we're going to start running into some bigger holes in pipes and changing and bark box and things like that on the next one. But this was kind of a proof of concept for the temperature. I think it's going to work. We may need to modify how we run it. Chime in there. Let me know what you guys think, because I appreciate your input. Thank you.